Everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Lori, and yes, I am in the car. I just left the gym. It's a Friday and I want to make sure that I get this video done so I can wrap up the expectation series here. So now you can go back and watch all 5. And this one is the expectation of your healing journey. Oh my gosh, this is probably one of the biggest things that I dealt with, early on. Not so much now. And every now and again, that like, I want to get it done all or nothing, like right now, you want to rush things along. But you have to understand that your lifelong healing journey, did you hear me say that? Lifelong healing journey? Yes, it's a lifelong healing journey. And it's important that you get that, because so much of wanting to heal, by the way, it's not meant to be fun. It's meant to be stressful. It's meant to be anxiety provoking. Why? Because it has to be. You have to feel it to heal it. And the expectation that you're going to go into therapy, coaching, take some medicine, go for a walk, start exercising, eat good, and then all of a sudden you're just going to feel better. Yeah, that doesn't happen. You got to pump your brakes on that. You got to keep that like a realistic expectation. Your journey, as I said a second ago, is lifelong, which means you will need to do this journey for the rest of your life. Yeah, the rest of your life. I have to have a routine for myself every single day. I have to do my mantras. I have to do my journals. 5 journals, by the way. I have to do my journals. I have to do if I'm moving my body, if I'm doing whatever it is, I have to do that every single day. Because if I don't, it's real easy to go back into a traumatic way of thinking, a victim mentality way of thinking. It's extremely easy to go back to that. Extremely. So you have to be careful to just be, and you hear me say this all the time. Listen, it may come off as crass or bold or whatever. Listen, it's gonna be. It's gonna be, because you don't need me to be like, oh, it's okay. Like, it's gonna be a little rough. No, it's gonna be hard. It's meant to be hard. You will lose people on your journey. It's okay. Sometimes it's a spouse. Sometimes it's family. Sometimes it's friends. Sometimes it's a job. Sometimes you have to be isolated for a while. Like, there's a lot of things that come up to play. But if you're expecting to feel better after a year, you've been here for how long now? How old are you? Okay, so pretend I just started my journey at 51. Pretend I just started it. I did not, but pretend I did. It took me 51 years to get here. You think I'm going to go to therapy and do some coaching and take some medicine and I'm going to be good in a year or 2? Nah. So you got to stop thinking that on this journey, it's always a forward progression. It's not. You're supposed to fall back into old thought patterns for a few minutes. See, it's something I tell this because, I give homework to like my clients, right? My regular clients. I give homework to them, meaning I want to give you tools in your toolbox so you can use them. Now, if I give you the Holy Grail to life, I go, here is the Holy Grail of life. This is what you need to be happy. And you go, cool, I got all the tools. But you're never put in a position to use those tools. It's useless knowledge. It's literally useless knowledge. So you have to allow yourself, listen, some of those things when you go backwards, you have to be like, oh, that was triggering. Oh my God, I thought I was better. No, listen, I don't get triggered by things like that anymore. Like, I just don't, but I work on it daily. As you work on it daily, once you get through the big hump and you start embracing things and you start dealing with your stuff and you radically accept that things are what they are, well, yeah, then you're not going to be triggered. But along the way, you may be. And when you do, don't go, what's wrong with me? You have to go and go, oh, wait, what were those tools Lori gave me? Or what was those tools that such and such gave me? Oh, I got to use them now. Yeah, the tools aren't wrong. You just, if you're trying to heal fast, it's not going to happen. You might as well not even go down the journey. Don't even bother healing. It's not fast. It's going to be based on your consistency. The expectation is you have to be consistent. I don't care if you don't feel like it. I don't care. Like, if you're sick or whatever, that's different. Like, that's different. You don't have the energy. But you cannot give yourself this expectation that things are supposed to be fast. And along that way, this is your healing journey, yours, no one else's, which means, yes, it's great to have a support system, but not everybody has to understand what you're going through. And that's an important expectation that you need to really get into your head. Not everybody is going to understand it, especially if they're not dealing with something like anxieties or depressions, or if they're like in denial about it. They're not going to be so quick to be like, oh, it's fine. And nor should you use that as a crutch. Don't expect that on this healing journey that you've decided to now do in your life, that all these people are supposed to be supportive of it. They don't have to understand it. They don't even have to support it. Now, you don't have to deal with those people. Sometimes you have to distance, but don't expect people to just babysit you on your steps. You know, it's something that I say to people all the time. My content's here. Me as a person who can help you, I'm here. Am I going to ever force you to do it? No. And let's say we're working together. I'm going to be there. I'm never going to be disappointed in you, because in the beginning, you're going to screw it up. In the beginning, you're not going to be consistent. I'm not going to be upset with you. I'm not going to call you every day and say, are you doing it? Because it's not my job to do that. But it is my job to support you when you say, oh my God, I screwed this up. Okay, why are we beating ourselves up? That's this expectation that you carry with yourself of needing it to be fast, needing it to be always good. Hard pass, babe. Again, you didn't get here overnight. But if you're expecting so now I'm going to include some of the things that we just talked about this week. If you're expecting somebody to support you on this journey because you would, don't do that. Stop expecting you out of each other. Stop saying that you want it to be reciprocated. That is expecting you out of each other. No, it doesn't have to be reciprocated, and you don't have to deal with those people. Right? See, that's the thing. Stop looking externally for internal peace. Stop looking externally for somebody to go, oh, good job. Like, you're doing this. Like, no, I'll do that. I got you. But stop expecting that out of other people. Stop expecting your life to be a certain way because you look at people who are your age or they're doing similar things to you and you think, oh my God, they're doing it so much better. Like, I don't know, like, what's wrong with me? Like, what? Why are we focusing there? If you be inspired by people. If you pull inspiration, by all means, be inspired by people. Absolutely. Absolutely. But don't be envious. There's no reason to be jealous or to be envious because you don't know what people went through. You are not them. So the same way that you don't want people to tell you how to feel or how you feel, even though feelings and thoughts are facts, you don't get to do the same thing with somebody else and then say, well, I don't want them to do it to me. That's called being a hypocrite. So you have to allow yourself this time to process, to go through it, to not feel like doing it, to fail, because failure is great. You're supposed to screw it up, and then you get more knowledge, and then you screw it up less, and then you might screw it up again. Then you're going to screw it up less. Like, it's just, that's how life works. First attempt in learning, baby. FAIL. First attempt in learning. Fail, and fail often. Because if you don't, you're going to live this weird perfection mentality that doesn't exist. Perfection's fake. It's not real. Stop striving for that and stop expecting other people to do that. So as we're wrapping up this expectation series, I want you to be mindful of those things. No one is you. No one has to be you. No one has to do it the way you do it. They are not wrong for doing it the way they are doing or not doing something. They're not. Stop looking and judging everybody else's highlight reel and saying what's wrong with you. That's wasted energy. The people that you envy, don't do that. And be inspired. Learn from them. Don't be jealous of them. Learn from them. It's amazing. When you lower that ego, go back to the Ego Death series here on Instagram, on YouTube, right? Go back to that Ego Death series. It's so important. When you do that and you realize this is a lifelong journey, again, do not think that this healing process is supposed to be fast. You sometimes, like if we're working together, sometimes we're going to stay on a topic for 3 weeks. Because we need to. Sometimes it's 9 weeks. Sometimes it's more because you have to integrate it. You can't keep learning. I want more knowledge. I need more. That's great. But you got to integrate it. Stop rushing it. Stop all or nothing it. Stop instant gratification. Lower those expectations. So I want you to really focus on that because it's important. If you're ready for this journey, that means be ready to feel it. Be ready to go through a little bit of hell. Be ready to be triggered. Be ready to distance from things and people that no longer serve you. Be ready. And do it for the rest of your life. It's called protecting your peace and accepting and appreciating where somebody else is, even if you don't like it and you don't agree with it. Always know this. It's important. Protect your peace. So that being said, that's a wrap on the expectation series.